I misspoke when I said I had 3 more pages of information on osteoporosis. The next session is sleep. Barbara said it's really, really important to get 8 hours of sleep. I know there's a lot of people out there that say they maybe need 5 hours of sleep. She gave a couple examples of people, Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher, I believe. They always said they only needed 5 hours of sleep, and both of them ended up having Alzheimer's. She said our body does so much repair, and our mind files things from our short-term memory to our long-term memory while we're sleeping. So it's really important to give our body those 8 hours that it needs to do all of that stuff. So she says lack of sleep, because it stops some of the functions, slows them down, doesn't allow them to continue and finish, it can actually lead to Alzheimer's, dementia, and things like that. She also says this, when we have regular late nights, that increases the aging of our body. There's different things that are produced, serotonin, melatonin, while we're sleeping, and those actually help with anti-aging. So again, we need to get that full 8 hours of sleep. And she's talking here about exercise in regard to sleep. It, can help us sleep better when we exercise. Exercise increases circulation and the body's ability to throw off waste. And in this talk about circulation, she says people with back pain, even degenerative back type issues, with exercise, core exercises specifically, that brings more blood flow to the spine area, the ligaments, the muscles, that can actually help back pain. She said our sleep cycle in regards to the sun, digestion slows at night. And then she said all body functions slow down at night. Remember, we talked about our digestion, so we want to make sure we don't have that heavy meal right before we go to bed. And she also said this in regards to cell phones and laptops, those small devices with that light that's shining in our eye. If we are on those before we lay our head on the pillow and try to go to sleep, she said it tells the body that it's actually daytime. And a lot of people struggle to go to sleep because they've been on their devices right before they lay down to go to bed. She said you should be off your devices for at least an hour before you lay down to go to sleep. And I have a note here, it says bananas stimulate melatonin, and she also said soft lights is what we need before we go to bed, or rather before we go to sleep. This is kind of interesting. According to Barbara, insomnia wasn't a problem until electric lights came along. Think about that for a second. Technology has not improved sleeping, it's actually made it worse for people. She said it's really important to have a pillow protector on your pillow because a lot of times when we sleep, we can drool a little bit, and pillows hold a lot of mold, or rather they can. She said we should have a pillow protector on our pillows, and then we can clean our pillows, we can wash our pillows, and then they need to be out in the sun for a short amount of time because that's actually going to help sanitize our pillows. The sun is amazing. She says natural fiber bed clothing, so linen or cotton. She said cotton sheets and pillowcases. Modal is made from beech tree. We talked about these natural fibers versus plastic fibers, and bamboo. And she said another thing to think about is your window screen. She talked about a story of a person that was having some difficulty sleeping, and some different things were going on, in their bedroom when they were trying to sleep, and they checked their screens, and sometimes they don't look horribly dirty, but many times they are. So that breeze blowing in that window with that dirty screen can also help to stop your sleep because it's causing problems. And I have here again, sunlight purifies. She says, tape your mouth shut while sleeping. We talked about that before. So just don't put a big old piece of duct tape over your mouth. It's a little teeny tiny piece of like Scotch tape. And she suggests wearing that little piece of tape, just around the house a little bit so you get used to it, so you don't put it on and you wake up and you're like terrified because you can't get your mouth open. But why do we do that? Because we're supposed to be breathing in and out of our nose, not through our mouth. That is really important. She stressed that point many, many times throughout this whole week-long seminar. NREM, so the type of sleep, that's the courier. Memories, short-term, get filed in the long-term memory during this process of our sleep pattern. And the REM sleep, the REM, that's a filing system. plus dreams and inventions happen in that REM phase of sleep. She said, I have a note here, it says busy mind. She's like, get out of that chat room before you go to bed. You need to have some quiet time for your brain. One thing you can do is the deep breathing in through your nose, exhaling out through your nose into your abdomen, using your abdomen, your core to do that breathing. She said, deep breathe in 5 seconds, hold the breath for 3 seconds, and then let it out for a total of 5 seconds. She says, focus on something. She told a story about her learning to memorize these Bible verses, and she would go over them and over them at night, and that would help her fall asleep. And she said another thing, she's always so thankful. Be thankful. Give gratitude. While you're laying there trying to sleep, she said, be thankful, because when you get frustrated, when you're laying there trying to sleep, it doesn't do anything helpful. So she said, just allow your mind to be thankful for whatever you can focus on, something. And she says that can make a big difference too. Okay, and I'll drop these in the comments below. Herbs for relaxing. These are mild sedatives. Chamomile, valerian root, passion flower. Those three, chamomile, valerian root, and passion flower, are my absolute favorite. I make a glycerin. I'll do a video and show you how I do that. It's really easy to do. And that just, you take that glycerin and with those herbs in it that you've infused, and you just feel your body relax. Some other ones are skullcap, hops, magnesium, melatonin, and the yam cream. So about the yam cream, I've been using the yam cream for about 6 months, and I'm gonna share some things that are happening. I'm gonna give it a little more time, just make sure it's not a coincidence, although I don't believe in coincidences. That can help with sleep as well. Here's just some random thoughts. I don't know what we were talking about. I have mercury depletes selenium and Brazil nuts. If you eat 3 to 5 Brazil nuts a day, that will get all the selenium you need for that day. And she says, one of the reasons we crunch on those Celtic grains of salt is because that will release the mineral gases. And that doesn't happen when we put that Celtic salt in the water. So I think we're gonna leave it at that today. If you guys have any questions, ask them below, and I'm gonna drop those herbs below too. So we'll be talking about all kinds of things in the future, and thanks for following along on this journey and learning to bring better health to your life. Chat later.